Happy Wednesday morning, y'all. I didn't think I was going to be in the kitchen with you guys, and I was like, oh, I got a bird thawing in the, that didn't even sound right. I got a chicken that's thawing in the icebox refrigerator. Guys, I apologize before we get into today's video. Some of you, obviously I drive nuts when I say icebox. It is what it is. It's what I grew up calling it. Icebox, refrigerator, whatever you want to call it, fridge. It's all the same. So instead of correcting me, I know that the modern term is called fridge or refrigerator. So just get used to it. It's Lippy's icebox. But I pulled out a chicken because I've been organizing our freezers, meat freezer, vegetable, and fruit freezers. So I've been organizing that for about 2 weeks. So I'm pulling stuff to the front, setting current to the back, rotation. And we had found some chickens on sale. Oh, it's dated in the summer, but it went in the freezer. This is a 5.62 pound hen for 99 cents. And of course, I grabbed 4 of them. So it cost me $5.62 plus tax, under $6. Now, the reason I want to share this video is not just for the recipes, but I plan on getting a baked chicken with vegetables. I'm boiling chicken to make dumplings. The leftover meat from the roasted chicken, I'm going to turn into either chicken salad, chicken and rice, but I'm also going to combine all the bones from the boiled chicken to the roasted chicken, and I'm going to make stock. So let's see, we have roasted chicken and vegetables. We're going to have dumplings. Let's just say chicken and rice. I don't know yet. I'm not there Friday. And then we're going to have broth. 4 recipes for under $6. And that's why I wanted to do this video. Plus, you can see how I roast chickens. Now, what I did is I spatchcocked the hen. From there, I cut it in 2. So we're actually going to be baking a half a chicken, boiling the other half. And I've got carrots, I got some little Yukon Golds that need to be used, and an onion. So I'm gonna drop the camera. We're back in the kitchen from yesterday. I didn't like that camera being like over in the dining room. It just didn't work for me. I want us up close and personal. Well, I want that. Y'all may be like, hey, back up, back up. I did preheat the oven to 375. This is actually our choice of supper tonight, or we're gonna have dumplings. Because I'm hoping tomorrow, we've got pouring rain today and tomorrow, to go ahead and get the chicken stock canned, and then moving to the weekend, I'll do something with the leftover chicken. And we'll have quite a bit. I'll just let Mr. Buddy pick, hey, what do you want with the leftover chicken? Now I'm talking about the roasted chicken, not the dumpling. So when he comes in this evening, he gets a choice, roasted chicken and vegetables or dumplings, because they both reheat and make delicious leftovers. I will be cooking my roasted chicken in my mom's a Dutch oven cast iron, okay? I think it's gonna fit just well. Now you can use olive oil. I'm choosing avocado today, and I do wanna put a little bit on the bottom because we don't want anything to stick. A couple of tablespoons. But I'm not through with that oil. And you see, I'm going in with a cold cast iron. Perfect. Now, like I said, I'm going to be baking this off because I have vegetables. Now, if I was to just use a spatchcock chicken, the whole bird, where you take that backbone out and you break the breastbone, I would have seared it. But I'm just doing a traditional baked chicken and vegetables. So therefore, I'm starting off with a cold cast iron. So you see, here is our half chicken. Beautiful. I gotta wash my hands. I grabbed me about 2.5 tablespoons of butter. And this is what I'm gonna do, if I can get the jar open. I'm gonna put out just a little bit of dry thyme, not much. Maybe a teaspoon, because thyme, you can't take it back if you overuse. And my butter's soft enough to just mash with my knife. This is the knife that I cut my vegetables with. And what I'm doing is I'm mashing that thyme into this butter using the side of the blade. Look at that. See how it comes in together? Perfect. And I think I've picked every piece of the thyme up. Now we need to season this because this is going to go between the skin and the meat. And I'm using my Cluckin' Good as one of the seasonings. We're going to use a little bit of black cracked pepper, kind of heavy-handed. And where we're going to pull our salt from is garlic salt. Now, I mix my garlic salt with granulated garlic, parsley, and then salt, kosher salt. And that's how I mix it. You don't have to buy it, guys. You can mix it yourself because then you can control the sodium. Perfect. And what are we going to do? We're just going to mash all this in, and we're going to use our blade, and we're going to scoop it up just like this, folding it. We're not going to miss a drop. You're thinking, oh, what a mess. I promise you, this is the easiest way I have found instead of a bowl and a spoon, because it's hard to get it out of that bowl. Here, I can scrape it up off this board. Now, because I have cut this whole chicken in half, it's easier to get into underneath the skin. See if I can do it without having to pierce it. And I'm gonna have to pierce it just a little bit. There we go. You don't wanna tear it. You just wanna be able to work that butter between that skin and that meat. And yes, you can use gloves. I choose not to. I just have some good soapy water over there with a little bit of bleach. Can y'all see what I'm doing? And you see, I didn't want to cut this side because then all of the butter and stuff would come out. This is kind of like my glue. I went into one pocket by the breast, and I'm working myself around this. Now, you would do the same thing if you were doing a whole chicken. What I like to do is go the furthest from me. And I just put a dollop right there. See the little hump? Go right here. Remember, I'm working with a half a bird. We're gonna go down here. Let's put some back here. And I think I had the perfect amount. Let's see if we can get some more up. There we go. You're thinking you're gonna leave the humps. Nope. I'm gonna fold it over and I'm gonna start mashing. Because my bird was not cold, it was just room temperature. I pulled it out about an hour ago. Now you see, I have massaged that all in between that skin and that meat. But now you gotta make sure you wash your hands good when you get done playing with this. Okay, now I definitely have to wash my hands because I don't want to touch my seasoning after messing with this bird. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of oil. Not much. Want to make sure it's covering all of that chicken. I didn't have the camera on. All I did was season with Cluckin' Good on the top, and I flipped it over. I didn't realize I didn't have the camera on. There we go. Going back with the same seasoning. Now, I won't be using any more time. That was plenty in that butter. This is a large sweet onion. I left it big chunk. Here's about 5 small carrots from the garden. Now we go in with these small Yukon Golds. Now, I did have to cut one in half because it was very large. Let's put a little bit more oil on these vegetables. Okay, I do my baked chicken a little bit different. And I can do this because the foil is not touching the chicken. The chicken is below the rim of this cast iron. And what I like to do is cook it on 375 for 20 minutes. Then the foil comes off. I crank it up to 425 and I finish off the cooking. By tinting it like this, the first thing that's going to cook on this chicken is the internal temp, because it's adding steam, 20 minutes. But then when we crank it up to 425 and pull that foil off, it then can allow it to continuously cook, give that skin a golden brown without burning or blistering. Y'all baked chickens before, so have I, where it's like, it's kind of blistered. And I love to eat the skin. I'll admit that, guys. Buddy and I both. We eat the skin of the chicken. Remember I told you I spatchcocked it? That's that backbone. Here is the wing. Here is the breast. Here is the thigh, the leg, and a piece of the breast. That way it boils faster and more evenly. Up the seasoning for our boiled chicken. I like the flavor of celery, not harsh, just a little back hint of celery in my dumplings. So there's a little bit of celery seed. Now we're going to use my house seasoning, my voodoo dust. Not that side, Lippy. Perfect. That's the perfect seasoning that I want. Now I've got to cover it with water, put it on the stove, and boil it till it's done. Everybody can boil chicken. Our roasted chicken and vegetables is done. I removed it from the cast iron, and this is the natural drippings. I'm adding a heaping tablespoon of butter. Some may ask, this is salted butter. We're going to get the butter melted. And in this ramekin, I've got a heaping tablespoon of cornstarch, and I used cold water. Always use cold water when you're working with cornstarch. And this is going to thicken our glaze. We're not actually making a gravy, we're making a glaze. We want to bring this up to temp, a low boil. We may have to add a little bit of water if it gets too thick on us. And that just makes for some good sopping. But this is going to keep that chicken moist. My chicken is done boiling. I've got to let it cool off before we take the meat off the bone to get ready for our dumplings. Look at it up close. I do believe Mr. Buddy's going to choose this for tonight and dumplings tomorrow. Did y'all see my mess here? I think I got too many dumplings. But I did wash the pot out that I boiled the chicken in. I got the chicken off the bone. Here's the remainder. And then after we eat on the roasted chicken, I'll take the rest of the meat off the bone, and that's what I'm going to use for another recipe. And then I can get ready to make my stock. But I got a lot of chicken, I'm telling you. And I've compressed it down. It's about 3 cups. I told y'all that was a big bird. Now, let's hope my pot's big enough. Sometimes I just overcook. I'm trying to be mindful. There is 2 of us. We can eat twice, 3 times. Come the 4th time, we're done with it. So cross your fingers that my pot's not too small. Well, we're going to make it work because I just won't use as many dumplings. That'll work. Oh, and you're going to ask me, well, why didn't you show the dumplings? It's because I was on the phone what an important phone call with my sister, setting up my brother's memorial. But I've done dumplings on a couple of videos. But a baseline is 1 cup of not self-rising. You could if you like a doughy. 1 cup of all-purpose flour to 1 tablespoon lard. Crisco, I actually used rendered lard or butter. I actually did 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 3 tablespoons of lard. You could use buttermilk. I used milk just enough to get it tacky. And I just put a lot of all-purpose flour, and I worked it till it was stiff. You can't make dumplings with sticky dough. You want it stiff. And you roll it out and cut it. Now, if I have dumplings left over, I'm going to put all that in a ball, and then this weekend I can make fried pies. I don't have to worry about my dough going to waste. But always remember, 1 cup of all-purpose flour to 1 tablespoon fat. Crisco, lard, butter, and enough milk to get it tacky, and just start working it, baby, with lots of all-purpose flour. Well, I don't mean lots. I shouldn't have said that. With enough to where it's folding into your dough and it becomes very stiff. You're going to get a workout. Trust me, my hand is screaming. Okay, we're going to put our eye on about a 6 because I got to get some stuff going. Now, I ended up with 6 cups of chicken stock that I did strain. Now, some of you are going to be like, oh no, Lippy. Oh yes, Lippy. If I have cream of chicken, I use it. If I don't, I don't. I don't make excuses using the canned cream of chicken, the canned cream of celery, or the canned cream of mushroom. I do have a preference on brand if it's in my budget for that monthly or every 2-month heavy shopping. If not, it's the blue label. So this is your option. Lippy makes no excuses. I'm not going to say, well, it's for my convenience. Well, I guess it could be, but I'm going to tell you, I like the cream of soups. So you have to do what's best for you. The reason why I sort of kind of emphasized on the cream of soups is because I do see other channels. And it breaks my heart, I guess, because maybe they've been bullied or something. And they'll say, well, I'm doing it for the convenience. I could make my own. I'm just going to tell you, if I can afford this convenience, since majority of my stuff is, you know, from scratch, I'm taking my convenience. I make no excuses why I use cream of soups. I love them. And so I feel sorry for some of these content creators that feel like they got to justify why they're using it. They just simply need to just say, hey, I'm using a can of cream of chicken soup. And don't worry about it. Now, I can tell you we're going to want more black pepper. Okay? Now, we're going to bring this up. We're going to number 8 to a boil. We cannot drop them dumplings in till we get it to a boil. The chicken will go in last after our dumplings cook, and I will be topping it off with milk. Yes, to really bring that goodness. As if we don't have enough calories. 2 tablespoons of butter. Yes, butter. Okay, it's starting to crest, and I don't add too many dumplings at one time because they will gum up. But you got to be mindful because once you start adding this, it's going to start cresting. In other words, bubbling up over your pot. And I like to use this because I get around the sides. I'm not disturbing them, but I'm kind of keeping them from sticking together. And I would say we have a pretty good supper for the next couple of days. And I spilt a little bit of water, I see. I made a small pan of cornbread. Where the video ended, I think I was putting the first batch of dumplings in. I ended up using about 3/4 of the amount. So I have enough dough for 2 hand pies sometime this weekend for just a snack. But I got another phone call, and I couldn't cut off from the phone call. My brother's ashes came in, and we're trying to get all that squared away. But anyhow, what you missed was all I did was add the rest of the dumplings that I could use. I turned my heat down to a number 2. I did measure my milk while I was on the phone. It was a cup of milk that I put into that. I let them cook about 20 minutes on low, stirring very frequently, because as those dumplings cook, they'll kind of crest down. You don't want them sticking. And then as soon as the 20 minutes was up and I noticed they were all under the broth, I turned the heat off. I added our chicken, stirred it, and set it over here to rest. And then I mixed up a cornbread. Dumplings are very, very easy to make. They're made in various ways. But I wanted to share with you guys, it was 99 cents a pound for this hen. And it was 5.62 pounds. With tax, under $6. I know that 6 people could eat off these dumplings. There's enough cornbread for those 6 people to have a slice. There is enough roasted chicken. If you didn't make leftovers, something else with the leftover chicken, this would feed 4 grown people. And don't forget, we're going to be able to make broth. And I'll probably get about 8 pints of broth, combining all the bones and the fat of this chicken. That's not bad, guys. That is 4, let's say 6, that's 10 meals for just under $6. And that's the point of this video I wanted to make. Sometimes when you see a whole chicken, it's like, okay, what'll I do with it? Well, I just made 2 complete meals, and I'm gonna make something else with the leftover chicken that we don't eat tonight, because we'll probably clean up the vegetables. And then I'll take the chicken off the bone. And like I said, whatever Mr. Buddy wants with that chicken, the leftover chicken, that's what I will make. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm not gonna do a quality control taste test because I gotta make a couple of more phone calls. So I apologize for that. Mr. Buddy should be home within an hour, and he's got choices, but I think he's gonna pick the roasted chicken just because it's fresh. Well, not that the dumplings isn't, but roasted chicken is probably his favorite with vegetables. So I'm not sure I'll see you guys the rest of the week, but we'll be back here this Saturday. Beautiful day, high 70s. I don't know what we can get done because it's going to be sloshy wet, but we may just do some seed starting. You never know what Buddy and Lippy's going to get into. It's always an adventure. So we will see you guys this weekend for our weekend blog. Is it a vlog or a blog? Vlog. Vlog is in video. There's just no hope for me, guys. I will never learn this techie terminology. But as always, stay safe, stay well, and always God bless. See you this weekend, y'all.